Hello traders, and welcome to the Ninjatrader Indicator Warehouse. Today we're going to talk about the Fanned Multiple Moving Average, or FMMA. This uses two sets of moving averages to identify the probability of trend development, change, and direction. This is based on the very popular Guppy multi-moving average, which we've enhanced both visually and in its flexibility. Here we have the long and the short-term groupings. Now, there are two major factors that emerge when using this. Number one, there's a repeated pattern of compression and expansion in a group. And number two, the degree of separation within groups and between groups provides a method of understanding the nature of the trend and trend change. So when two groups converge like this means that there is agreement on both price and value in the market. This agreement often precedes substantial changes in the direction of a trend leading to a breakout. The FMMA is also about validating this trend break. So once the break is validated, you're able to enter a breakout trade with a higher level of confidence. So to review, when we see compression here, this means that we have a possible trend break. And when we see expansion here, this means that the trend is likely to continue. Now, when there is compression, there's really agreement amongst traders about both price and value, which cannot last. And this creates opportunity. So once a trend break occurs, if you're late to the party, you must outbid your competitors. Thus, the trend continues. And as we can see here, the wider the spread, the stronger the underlying trend. So let's talk briefly about trading a pullback and a bounce. So you'll usually see short-term trend changes. And as opposed to the standard Guppy, our fan does a great job of illustrating these sell-offs. The long-term group of averages show that traders take this opportunity to buy at temporarily weakened prices that cause the pullback, and then the bounce back down confirms the trend, and separation here determines the strength of that trend. So the FMMA ships with the standard Guppy settings in place. However, the fan takes trend identification and trading to the next level by offering more flexibility and choice around the moving average groups, period lengths, and moving average types. There are many combinations, and it's definitely flexible enough to adapt to your unique style of trading. You can either stick with the standard periods, or use the whole moving average instead of the standard exponential moving average, or you can mix and match. So let's take a look at the fan in action now. Okay, here's a trade we recently put on. Let's zoom in here. As you can see, we have the short-term and long-term moving averages converging, which usually means this is a good entry point. Let's actually modify our chart real quick here. We can change it from, right now I have it set to look at both exponential moving averages. I'm going to change the short term to look at the triple exponential moving average and tighten up our line a little bit. So here I'm going to apply my changes, and you can see it tightens it up just a tad there, and you can see we already start having a downtrend here, and we've got some space now between the long-term trend line and the short-term trend line. So let's fast forward here a little bit, and as you can see, we've got confirmation, and we've got a widening gap here between the long-term trend and the short-term trend. Again, this represents a disagreement on price and value. We're going to fast forward here a little bit more. So as you can see, we've got really good downward trend momentum. We've got continuation. And what really makes the FMMA very nice is that it really helps you manage this trade, helps you decide whether or not you should be releasing this particular position. And we'll fast forward just a little bit more here. And we've got a really, really nice looking downward trend. You can see there's plenty of space here between the two long-term trends and the short-term trend lines. Right now we've got it set for the triple exponential moving average. Let's expand this out a little bit and move back to the exponential. And this would be the standard Guppy that we're looking at now. We've got some beautiful downward trending lines here. Again, just reminds me of water flowing down the river. And then we're going to go ahead and put this back onto the triple exponential moving average. And we'll let this run for just another couple ticks and see. Okay, we just had another tick down. Very nice. So let's actually walk through some options and parameters for what you can actually do with this particular indicator. So here we're back on the original chart that we started with. I'm just going to walk everybody through a variety of different parameter options that you have. So I'm going to right click, go to indicators, left click there. Let's bring this in here. Okay, so we have our indicator highlighted, and then we're going to go over to the parameters box, and we'll walk through some of the things we have here. So here's a listing of your long-term periods. We have 1 through 6, so you can actually go in and configure each of the different periods. For the moving average types, we have the long-term, so you can actually open this menu, and if you like the whole moving average, if that's what your preference is, you can switch it to the whole moving average. Again, you can pick and choose based on your particular trading style, your strategy. You can modify this in a lot of different ways. So here we have the short term. Again, this is the same list that we just saw. And for the short term periods, we can also modify these as well. So let's scroll down a little bit, and let's take a look at some other options that we have. So there's plenty of visual configuration options that you have here. And then you also have some configuration options on the line, the color, the size, the type, as you can see here. And then finally we'll go down to the bottom, and we have some different colors we can pick from when there's actually trend changes. So here I'm just going to open the list, and you can see you can pick from a variety of different colors. So I'm going to go back up here, and I'm just going to make one change here. I'll change the short term to the triple exponential moving average, and we'll tighten up the line just so you can see sort of how you can look at the data a little bit differently. Apply those changes, click OK, and as you can see here, it really tightens up that line, and it's a better indicator of what's happening currently with price. We've shortened up the moving average time frame. And remember, whether you are day trading the E-mini S&P, other futures contracts, or Forex, Indicator Warehouse will help you get more profit from your online trading and technical analysis efforts. Thank you for joining us.